All right, guys. Good morning. Melissa here. So I want to talk about my pro-life work here for a minute. It's not all roses. I have a business that I started, and it will have a social impact. And so it's not official, the social impact yet. So I gave it a shot. I was helping a mom, and I'm like, okay, you're going to have to put some systems in place. You're going to have to, have a process for this too. So I'm like, well, I probably should do text to protect myself. Phone calls if they're really an emergency, and I've been trying to work it out. So, first of all, we know we have an enemy that attacks us, right? We know that. That is going to happen when you are in ministry. Second of all, we know we need some tough skin. So I had this person I was helping, and I'm not going to say it on here, and I mean, every day, guys, I'm like, it's gonna take the work of every day to help people, right? So throughout the day, filling a gap instead of being like, you have to go to a pregnancy center or something, 2 hours of sitting down talking. Moms don't have time to do this. I'll just do a system where it's more practical help day in and day out. So I gave this mom all the resources I knew of. I'm like, this is all I have for now. And then I hear, I still need help with rent. And I tried everything you said and da 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 da. So I'm asking for clarity because I hear, oh, I went to the pregnancy center. So I'm like, oh, you have a ride? Yes, I told you that. I told you I drive. I'm like, I did not hear all this time that you drove. I'm like, in fact, that is why I was looking for a ride for you to get to a pregnancy center. Then I hear, well, I'll just pay the rent with the money I have and talk to the office and try to figure it out. I'm like, oh, if I knew you had money, I would have kept my $20 because I thought you needed diapers right now. And guess what? I'm broke. So I would have kept my $20. So I heard, oh, well, um, I was on I was out of diapers, and then I hear thank you. I had a few left. And so I'm seeing these inconsistencies, right? I'm hearing, if you don't help, we're going to have to live in our car. So, guys, coming from the background I have, which is a gift, with everything that my family, with the projects, I know I have a sixth sense. You're brought up with a lot of experience, and you know to detect patterns, you know to what to look for. So it's my gut is usually pretty good. My gut is, I'm usually pretty in tune to my body. And so I'm like, I had already heard there was something in the background with a prison, some relative in prison. So I'm like, you're going to have to be careful of this person. And so on and on it went. And then, I'm asking for clarity, and I'm like, I thought you said this and I thought you said that. So, I'm kind of pushing a little. So last night I had said good luck, oh, so you have a ride. Okay, well, good luck. So then I get this message. How have I offended you? You're being mean. And I said, you know what? I'm busy right now. I just got home from work. I'll talk to you later. Then the double down comes. It's, oh, well, tell me, let's get together and talk about your nonprofit because I wanna support it when I get my settlement. So one of my core values is I will not be brought by money. Even though I work hard at getting money for myself and my family in ministry, I will not be brought by money. That is something I have always said, to myself, to other people. People cannot buy me. So here she is offering this, and she's like, oh, let's go out sometime. Let's, I want to know about your nonprofit. It won't be much money, but, let's go out and I'll give. And I am not for sale, guys. So I didn't say anything, and I ignored the message last night, and I went to God. And I'm like, oh, she didn't just say this to me, right? And I'm like, here's my flesh. I'm like, how am I going to handle this? Is this going to be in my flesh? And I'm thinking, she didn't just say this to me, did she? She did not really just say, You're being mean after I helped her and laid down my life. And because I asked for clarity, she's saying you're being mean. And I'm like, she didn't really just say this to me. She didn't, right? So my flesh wants to act out, right? So I'm like, whoa, baby, whoa, you did not really just disrespect me like that. So I'm like, Melissa, if you really want to help women, you're going to have to be able to take some stuff, if you really do. And I did, I could see a lot already. I could see a lot. But I'm like, you also need boundaries, Melissa. You need boundaries because you're going down into a deep hole here with this person. So I did message and said, I got your message. So I got your message. And, for asking for clarity, you thought I was being mean. And I'm like, I didn't appreciate it. I said, we will not be working together. You are not a victim. You are very capable yourself of making phone calls, of getting rides, etc. So best to you and take care. So I don't mind helping people, guys. I don't mind helping people. But when they start the drama and start being like, oh, you have to help me. I heard last night you're the only one helping me. You got to put your foot down. So this is where the enemy will attack too, with a bunch of false guilt, etc. So you want to run things with good principles. So I just backed up and I'm like, nope, I am not ready yet in my personal business to be able to help, so I'm going to have to think everything over. I did know I want a very distant process. I mean, there are some I probably will want to get involved with more one-on-one, and some I'm just like, here's a resource hub for you, here's ways to help, but I'm not getting involved. And that, I have to look at my weaknesses too, and I have to be like, okay, what is the best way to help women? And not everyone is like you, Melissa. Not everybody is teachable. Not everybody wants it. Not everybody is willing to change their life. I mean, I came from a background with, we had family in the projects, and I wasn't going to stay that way. I was going to turn my life around. And that's exactly what I did. I mean, I went to church. I was in community. I was always trying to find ways to help myself do better and improve my life. And that is my main message here is, finding systems and ways to improve your life, to improve who you are. It doesn't even necessarily have to be your money or your housing or anything, but to improve yourself. That is what I really worked at. And I'm like, Melissa, you've got to realize there's people out there, and I know this, who just want a free ride. They don't want to change. They don't want to put in the work. They don't want to change their family. So, my grandmother had a very victim mentality, and it's just not acceptable that, you can do stuff. You can do it. So I had to put my foot down, and, I'm like, Melissa, if you go this way, you're not going to be able to help her. And, guys, there's sometimes people you have to say, I cannot help. I can't help you. I can't help you. So that is kind of a reality you have to accept.